What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Boy John 25, and tonight I'm gonna do the Horror Show Extreme Rules review and highlights. You guys new, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. The Extreme Rules pay-per-view itself was just got awful. It just got awful. That's just my opinion. But anyway, Peter Rosenberg and Scott Stanford are including the kickoff show as they run down the card for Extreme Rules pay-per-view, including the audition Kevin Owens versus Murphy on the pre-show. Then we get Rosenberg and Stanford discuss Wyatt versus Strowman in a swamp fight, and we see a great type of video that goes back into the origins of the Wyatt family. Booker T, Renee Young, and JBL joined the show on Zoom and lay out their thoughts. Booker says he's been excited for this match since it was announced, but doesn't know what to expect. They argue over whether or not Braun can really break free from Wyatt and be his own man. Renee Young wonders if there is going to be alligators in the swamp. Alright, let me just get to this kickoff show. So Kevin Owens versus it says Kevin Owens versus Murphy. Decent match. I mean, not decent, but pretty good match. I say decent. My fault. It says the bell rings and KO looks for the stunner but gets shoved off. Then batters Murphy into the corner. Murphy counters Owens and hits a knee for a 2 count. Then trade shots back and forth until Murphy takes a sleeper. Kevin Owens fights out, but Murphy kicks him and goes up top. Murphy jumps into a boot and DDT. Owens hits a invert on atomic drop and a big lariat. Murphy counters a senton but gets thrown off, gets face first onto the turnbuckles and hit with a cannonball. Owens puts Murphy on the top turnbuckle and gets punched off. Murphy hits a meteor from up top and scores a near fall. Owens catches a kick and looks for the pop-up powerbomb, but Murphy lands on his feet. Murphy hits 2 big knees to the chin, then a brainbuster for a near fall. Murphy lands a few shots and then takes Kevin Owens to the top rope. Owens denies Murphy in superplex and throws him off, then hits a moonsault for a near fall. Owens counters Murphy with a super kick and then hits a stunner for the win. The winner of the match, Kevin Owens. This match was pretty good. I must say this match was pretty good. Let's move on. Alright, then we get the Horror Show at Extreme Rules. Alright, then we get that. Then we get the Smackdown Tag Team Champions in a tables match. This match was good. I'm glad Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura won the Smackdown Tag Team Champions. Don't get me wrong, I love the New Day, but I'm sick and tired of the New Day win. So congratulations to Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura for winning the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Alright, so it says here, it says the winners of the match and new SmackDown Tag Team Champions Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. This tables match was good. I like it. After the match, Cesaro and Nakamura tells Michael Cole and Corey Graves to stop doubting them, then sits on a table and pose. Then moving on. We see Alexa Bliss giving Nikki Cross, Asuka and Kairi saying a prep talk backstage, and Cross gets riled up for her title match. SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley versus Nikki Cross for the SmackDown Women's Champion. This decent match. So anyway, the match gets on the way and Bayley forces Cross to the corner and slaps her. Cross doesn't get mad. Instead goes for a lockup again, but Bayley shrugs her off with a hip toss and pose. Bayley forces her to corner, but out of nowhere Nikki hits Bayley with the swinging neckbreaker finisher, but Bayley kicks out. Bayley rolls outside to regroup, but Nikki Cross brings her back in and hits a crossbody from the top rope. Then another for a 2 count. Bayley starts turning the tables and chokes Cross in the middle rope. Bayley talks trash as she beats Cross in the corner. Bayley pulls a page out of Cross' book and traps her in the ring apron. Then battles her with forearms. Both women end up on the apron, and Nikki Cross unloads on her. Nikki Cross then snaps Bayley on the ropes, like Bayley does, then performs a running splash after using Bayley's old buddy tongue. Cross puts the bank statement on Bayley, but Bayley escapes and hits the Bayley to belly for a near fall. Bayley gets Cross on the top rope for a superplex and doesn't agree with the 2 count. Cross rolls her up, but Bayley kicks out and hits a big knee. Bayley kicks Cross out of the ring, hugs Banks, then tries to jump through the ropes and to Cross, but gets caught and slammed into the ring post. Back in the ring, Cross throats chops Bayley, then hits a reverse DDT on both women are down. Cross hits a running forearm and a running bulldog. Nikki goes up top, but Bayley dodges a dive. Cross hits a neckbreaker for a 2 count, followed by 2 back suplex. Bayley runs at Cross in the corner, but nobody's home, and she hits the buckles. Nikki Cross drags Bayley under the bottom rope and hits a neckbreaker on the floor. Banks gives Bayley her boss ring, which Bayley used to punch Cross in her finish for the win. The winner of the match and still your SmackDown Women's Champion, Bayley. We get a horror-themed episode of the Firefly Funhouse in which Bray is dressed like the Lucha and Aries is Sepatone. Bray welcomes us and says he has the most horrifying footage to show us. A clip plays of karaoke from SmackDown 2 weeks ago, but then cuts off and Bray requirement rambling rapidly saying he knows that not the clip. Instead, he has a clip from the past. Braun Strowman wants everyone to forget, but we don't see said clip. The United States Champion match won't be taking place tonight. The announcer explained that Apollo Crews wasn't medically cleared to compete tonight. MVP and Bobby Lashley come out to the ring as we see replays of how Crews suffered and injured. Disappointing. MVP says what happened when people get in the ring with Almighty. He tells Lashley he got to stop pulling that move with such power that he hurts people and hinder his career. They laugh. Then MVP goes out and gets the new United States Champion and announces himself the official champion due to forfeit. It's time for the biggest match of the night. Seth Rollions comes to the ring with a pair of pliers and stands ready for them. An eye for eye match. Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio. This match itself was good. I ain't gonna lie. It says the winner of the match, Seth Rollins. But the outcome was just terrible. Dominic and some doctors run out as Seth Rollins literally pukes on the floor. They help Bray to the back and Seth looks horrified at what he did. Maybe I missed it, but I didn't think we saw the eyeball or anything, so that kind of sucks. They showed the eyeball of Rey Mysterio. It was just disgusting. It was just, oh my god, I couldn't believe they showed Rey Mysterio's eyeball. It was just disgusting. Bayley is backstage and Kayla Braxton starts to ask her a question. Bayley says she wants a hug fan of Rey Mysterio growing up. It's so crazy. And she doesn't know if Rey will ever see this, but he's not seeing double. Bayley does straps. Bayley then introduced Sasha Banks and says she about to become a double champion as well. Raw Women's Champion. Asuka versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Champion. This was the match of the night, but the outcome was just god awful. This was the match of the night, so I enjoyed this match. What it is, this match was good, but the outcome of the outcome was just god awful. All right, let me move on. It says the winner and your new Raw Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. Bayley forced the timekeeper to the ring the belt, and she gave Banks the belt. The announcer says this can't possibly stand. Charlie Caruso is backstage by the doctor's office. but they taking Rey to a local hospital. The doctor told her if the optical nerve of Rey's eye has been swerved, then there is a good chance Rey won't lose his vision. Dolph Ziggler comes to the ring for the WWE Championship match, and he waits for Drew McIntyre to take his entrance. Ziggler takes the microphone and tells Drew he underestimated him. The stipulation for this match is Extreme Rules, but only for Dolph. McIntyre can get counted out, disqualified, or do anything out of the ordinary. Dolph becomes champion. The WWE Championship match, the WWE Championship Extreme Rules match, Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler. This match itself was good. But we all know Dolph Ziggler is a loser. And I know TM is watching this video. He's going to agree with me that Dolph Ziggler is a loser. So I'm just going to get this out the way. So it says the winner of the match and still your WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. We already knew Drew McIntyre was not going to lose. Anyway, it's main event time. But before that, why the WWE champion cannot be main event at Extreme Rules? I don't know. Can somebody explain to me that in the comment section? But anyway, it's main event time following a promo video of SummerSlam 2020, which takes place next month. Swamp Fight. Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman. I watched this match. I gave this match a chance. I watched the match for what it is. To me, it was a good match. The Swamp Fight was a good match. Was good to me. It was good. So I enjoyed it for what it is, and I did not complain, Sammy Talks. I'm just going to be the first one to say I did not complain about this Swamp Fight match. I did not complain. So Sammy Talk, shout out to you, and I know you're going to agree with me down below in the comments. I did not complain about this match. I did not. But anyway, we're in the swamp, and we see Strowman pull up in a truck with Wyatt sitting in the middle of the road in rocking chair. Strowman gets out and approaches Wyatt. He says, "I'm home." But the lights go out and Bray is gone. Strowman sees a sign leading into the woods that says, "Abandon hope, all who enter." So he throws a rocking chair into the sign. Alright, Strowman makes his way through the woods, and we see corny orange image of random animals. A couple of guys come out of the woods and attack Braun, but he beat them down. Firefly Funhouse bills pop up, but Bray cheering for Braun. Strowman rips his shirt off and screams for Bray, but he gets hit from behind by himself. Braun Strowman crawls away from himself, standing with a sheep mask on, only to be hit with the shovel again. Strowman wakes up tied into a chair with chains in a dirty old sack. He tries to free himself, but can't. And that's when Bray Wyatt is shown in the woods with the ladder, his old music playing. Bray enters the sack and welcomes Braun home. Bray turns him, and Braun says he hates him for everything he made him do. Alright, Bray says he loves how much success Bray has had, but he knows it's borrowed time. He asks who will be there when Braun's 15 minutes of fame is gone. He screams that he is not Braun's enemy. They're one in the same. They can't be God or rule everyone. As society crumbles and governments fail, they will rule, as perhaps. Braun says he is going to send him back to hell, and Bray says he's been somewhere worse than Braun could imagine. He's been voting in a pit his mind, but he's back and it feels good. He got his wing back, and he's never going back to that pit. He says Braun is a weapon that only knows how to wield, and it's order from him to become the monster he knows he can be. He has to destroy it. The monster has become. Alright, Braun says this will never be with him. Bray asks if he wants to see something really scary, then they veiled woman walk in with a snake and makes a bite. Braun cut out to outside, and Braun is sitting by a fire. The same goons are back, and Braun beats them down, including a guy with a shovel. Braun breaks the shovel over his knee and hits the guy with it. He then kicks him into the fire and laughs as he runs around the fire. The veiled woman calls to Braun for a pier, telling him he doesn't have to do this. It's Alexa Bliss. She says they always wanted to be together, so he should just follow her. Braun walks towards her on the pier, and she calls him home. Braun stops in front of the foggy gazebo, and Bray runs out, grabbing him with both hands. Braun shrugs him off and chokeslams Bray of the pier into the boat. Okay. The boat turns on and sails out into the ether. Strowman laughs and walks away, but the boat comes back. It's empty. Wyatt pops out of the water and hits Braun with the paddle. The two fall in the water, with Bray trying to drown him. Both men go under the water and hits a minute before Braun comes out, coughing, and climbs back into the pier. Wyatt appears behind him and swings the paddle, but Braun avoids it. Braun follows Bray into the foggy gas bowl, but gets beaten down with the boat paddle. Bray walks off saying, "Look at what you made me do." Braun comes back and kicks him off the pier into the water, watches the water and says, "It's over," and the Extreme Rules graphic appears. But Bray smashes out of the water and grabs Braun with the mandible claw and drags him down in. The water goes red for the Fiend comes out. The show ends with Bray Wyatt laughing over and over, and then saying, "Let him in." This was a good strong fight match. I enjoyed this. The winner of the match, Bray Wyatt. And that is it for the horror show at Extreme Rules. I think the women matches were pretty good. It was Drew McIntyre versus Dolph, and then the table match. I'll say 2 gimmick matches would be highly doubted, but the Swamp fight was enjoyable for the most part. If you guys enjoyed the horror show Extreme Rules review and highlights, please drop a like on this video, comment down below what you guys think of this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on my Monday Night Raw review and highlights. And the best part was the Alexa Bliss was Sister Abigail. The Swamp fight, the Swamp fight was good. The Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollions and Alpha Eye match was good, and but there was some bad outcome. The outcome was bad. Anyway, this your boy John 25. I'll talk to you guys later, and I'm out of here.